I get this email on the Navy's secret network, SIPRNet, and it's from my boss's operation officer. I was reporting to a 4-star admiral, U.S. Fleet Forces Command. His operations officer was a 2-star. And the email was sent to all the subordinate commanders. This is at least 20 flags and SESs. All the deputies are copied on it, and the title of it is Urgent Safety of Flight Issue, all caps. The body of the email said, "If any of you know what these are, tell me ASAP. We are having numerous near midair collisions, and if we don't stop it, we're gonna have to cancel the exercise." And attached to the video was the now famous leaked Go Fast video. F-18 pilots captured video of this UAP zorching over the water. There's no flight control surfaces or propulsion means that are visible. It's just a little round sphere.
What are some of the things you've encountered as an oceanographer that you know?
So here you go. When I was
keep you up at night. Let's talk about the Submariner.
I am what I am. I have the scientific background as an authority on these topics of ocean science and exploration. A submariner came to me, and virtually and he just said, "Hey, I was on a sub in the 80s. I'd like to talk to you about what I saw." And this guy is, like most nuclear submariners I know, he is just the facts. They get a passive hit, a contact, then it paused and then started closing on them rapidly. That was every feature that a Russian torpedo would have in terms of the constant bearing, decreasing range at a very rapid rate. And they were so convinced, he called the captain of the bridge, they set general quarters and they dived.
Project Beta.
Project Beta, the story of Paul Benowitz and the evolution of the modern UFO myth. And what it's about is a civilian physicist who was on contract to work for the Air Force, I believe. He was one of these people who was a civilian researcher in the UAP in the New Mexico area where there was, that's a hot spot. And the Air Force deliberately deceived him and exploited him and even broke into his house to make him believe that there was going to be an imminent alien invasion. He basically nearly went crazy. And the Air Force did that deliberately. And
what?
The main perpetrator in the Air Force is a guy named Richard Doty. He's quite well known in the UAP circles, and that's what he did. And I can see that happening right now. And you can tell they're obviously obfuscating. They are deliberately not saying what they know and saying things that are patently untrue.
Why are they putting out false information?
It's the policy at the top level of the executive branch that directs whether they want to disclose or not. It makes a lot of sense because, UFO people want to see it, but if you were Biden, would you want to tell the American public, hey, I can't keep our airspace safe, it's being visited by entities whose intent I don't understand and I can't control it, same for our water space. Do you think he'd want to announce that to the American people on the verge of the election and say, I'm not doing my job, I can't keep y'all safe? I don't think so.
Why are you focusing on underwater stuff?
Yeah, well, first off, we know we see them in the water too.
How many encounters have we had of UAP, UFO activity in the water?
The last example that I saw was from the USS Omaha, and there's other examples too. Classified examples I can't talk about, but confirmation that we see these things underwater.
Do you think there's different kinds? Do you think that there is a possibility that some of these are kind of nuts and bolts types crafts and some are maybe something to do with consciousness, maybe something to do with some type of spirituality? What are you thinking?
I think the answer is yes. There was another encounter where UFOs were seen to go into the water. The ships all got vectored to go look for these things, and Canadian divers were interviewed and claimed to have seen these 2 underwater discs and actual occupants outside the craft trying to repair it. And then the next person to get up and talk was Leo DiCaprio. What am I going to say to keep these people's attention? And she said, well, Tim, why don't you just point out to everybody that the only difference between you and him is that when you were in the Navy, none of your ships ever sank. Everyone kind of got the Titanic link, and they not only started laughing, they gave me a round of applause.